it's always going to be 9 houses away. So Fomalhaut, the fixed star Fomalhaut, is always 9 houses away from Sirius, which means Fomalhaut is always going to be the guru of Sirius. And the water that comes out of Fomalhaut, it's knowledge that you can see. Air is knowledge, but air is knowledge you gain, but you don't see it unless you act. That is water. Action that you see, knowledge that you can see with action, with interaction, with talking to other people, with teaching, because this is the teacher. That's what this is. Using what you know and talking to people. Giving it to the people, interacting with the people. That's what Fomalhaut is. And this is the reason for the quote unquote for the dog star, which is the other fish star. This is the other fish star. With Ka9 being the code to look at 9 houses away from this star. Not from a nakshatra, not from a sign, but from a star. Ka9, the soul of 9 houses away. It's still houses, but it's 9 houses away from this star. Knowledge is air, but instead water is what you see, and that is the knowledge that you give to other people. That's what the water is in Aquarius. It is not just water. It is knowledge that you interact with other people. This means teacher. This means student. Meanwhile, Pegasus means well. All of the water, all of the knowledge coming from here. The Akashic records, as Lavette has pointed out to us before. I found out there's a well in Corinth presided by the Pega nymphs, an Osiris cult, going all the way back before the Greeks, when Osiris first came on as king of the underworld and Isis first came on as a replacement to Hathor, when Hathor became Isis and Ra or Atum became Osiris. When the Ra as the masculine sun god became Isis as the feminine sun, and Osiris became the masculine moon after Hathor was the feminine moon, or possibly Earth. I'm not sure which. Now, I found out about this well and these Pega nymphs and the Osiris cult from this channel. Amy Mon is her channel. And she went into the Osiris myth as I'm studying for Sirius and Sopdet. She explained that there is a Pega, P-E-Q, P-E-Q, or P-E-G-A. And so Pegasus itself could be Pegasius, and that it could be the belonging to the Pega. And the Pega are Pega nymphs who presided over the well of Corinth. And I will look into it one day, but the reason why this constellation is upside down is because the constellation, any constellation that's upside down, does not stand on its own. It is in relation to another. So that this one here and this one, the two heads of the horse, they're upside down. This one's in relation to Capricorn. This one's in relation to Aquarius. This knowledge reaches here. This well comes down from the neck of this constellation and then goes this way, down to Fomalhaut. This is spiritual, of course. This is not what's happening in space. But from our perspective, as the sun and the earth interact with each other, the energies, this part of the sky, this is what happens. Because there's energy coming from the sun hitting the earth, and the energy is different that's sending out to this from the sun, and that energy is interpreted in different ways around as the earth spins, and it's divided by 12, but it could be even divided by 27 or even further if need be, or 108. And one day I'll explain further. I'm still exploring this, so if you feel like you want to explore it, please be my guest. But that well in Corinth corresponds to the deep knowledge of learning from within you rather than experience, having a sense of what's right and wrong, coming from above, coming from something beyond yourself, something that's trying to bust through your ego. Even though this sign is the sign of the self-made martyr, hurting themselves for the sake of others. You are the teacher, whereas your higher self is always the student. Okay, this water here, this water is airy intelligence, is air-based intelligence, okay, given to Fomalhaut that you see because it's applied to people. That's what the water is here. With Sirius, it's just you. There's no people involved. This is all about your ego, the brightness of your ego, fixed in the stars. With the power of a boat, with the power of the Argo behind you, going out for the Golden Fleece, from the depths of the earth, from the underworld. This is from a northern hemisphere perspective. Southern hemisphere, I have no experience with that. I know you guys have different stars than we do up here. I have no experience with it. I do apologize. I never looked into it. And with Sirius, this is all you right here. This is all you, all your experience. And yet you're not held accountable here. That's the funny thing about Sirius. You're not held accountable here. You are not the self-made martyr. Aquarius is. Fomalhaut is. Deneb is. Pegasus is. Here, you're not. But you build your karmas here. And in Fomalhaut, you answer those karmas. Fomalhaut is a star that is a lot dimmer. The only thing that makes it important is that it's one of the 4 royal stars. It makes a cross in the heavens. This is the winter star. Now, eventually it'll change. Over time, in the precession cycle, this changes. But for this time period in Pisces, in the age of Pisces, this is the winter star. And it's dimmer, which means you bring light to this. It's there for you to have, but you have to bring light to it. Here, Sirius is so bright, it brings attention to itself. All right. After a long time editing this, I'm going to get a little heated now. This is 9th house from this, which means this is the religious house. This is the Ka-9. This is the K9. This is the 9th house of the soul for Sirius. Without Fomalhaut, Sirius means nothing. Because Sirius is the first time this knowledge shines here in Gemini. That is what Sirius is about. The knowledge that it comes from Fomalhaut or Deneb, this is where it shines. The bright star that's fixed. Right here, that is fixed. Sirius is not fixed. Sirius slowly moves over the eons. It was here when it was venerated. Possibly it might have been in Cancer during the time of the Egyptians, but it slowly went this way. And now it's here. And it's being venerated here under the twins. Well, guess what? You mean nothing without Fomalhaut. And you know this. Barkers, wild wolves, you know this. Herpes, Hermes, Gemini, you know this. You mean nothing without this. And without this. Because Deneb al-Diji is Deneb of not the dog, of Adiji. Deneb of Adiji, which is not the dog. They know this. They know Adiji means no dog. There's no dog here. Meanwhile, Deneb al-Gadai is Deneb the god. Al means is the feminine god. This is the feminine god right here. Al-Gedi. Al-Gedi. See? Deneb al-Gedi. Deneb the god. Deneb the god. This is Deneb the god. Because this is the god right here. This is of the feminine form, not the masculine Hades. Not Sutor. Not Pan. It is the feminine. That's buried. It is Perse, not Persephone, not Persephone. It is Perse. Okay? It is Hawa. It is Hathor. It is the cow. It is Pug. It is Par. It is Pug. In the Hebrew, the P is represented here. The Pei. And in the Pei, it is a feminine letter. And a letter is an enchantment, is a sound. And it comes from a feminine perspective. And that's why power, they use power. When they say power, they apply it to masculine, but they're trying to make it masculine. It's feminine. Anything. If you look at any P word in the dictionary, it has a special meaning. It is all their domain. They're taking over every P word. But they're making it masculine. They're applying it in a masculine way to give them power. You have to realize this is the sacrifice. This is the Deneb al-Gedi, the tail of the god. It's feminine. You give it to the power that you don't have. You choose it. You give it direction. Positive affirmation. Mantra. Back up your thoughts with something positive. That's what Deneb al-Gedi is. And Sirius is all seriousness in life. Is all seriousness in life, but they give you no knowledge whatsoever. Nothing. They give you depressing music. They give you music that describes a horrible world. When you should be taking the Fomalhaut knowledge that you or someone else out there can give you and applying it here at the right time, okay, at the right time for you to shine. And that's going to be on my next video.